Hey, I hope all is going well and you're having a beautiful, blessed day. We have to have a serious conversation. Some of it is going to be fun and some of it is not going to be so fun. But it is going to be something that is thought provoking, something that I want you guys to take action on if you choose to, and I hope you choose to. Um, First of all, I wanted to say again, if I haven't said it enough, congratulations, Jenna Bainbridge, for becoming Nessa Rose. Um, that is definitely an achievement, and it is something that our entire community has been waiting for many, many years, for literally 21 years. Ever since Wicked was born 21 years ago. And um, Wicked, I am asking you now, please give Jenna, please give her her version of Nessa an actual dance routine within Dancing Through Life, because she does have the know-how and the strength to handle that chair. And I don't know if you know, but she did a TikTok with her co-star that is going to be playing Bach, and she did a TikTok and an Instagram reel, and I shared it. So please consider going the way of the movie and giving her an actual dance routine and not just giving Nessa two spins with their hands up in the air. Because having a legit wheelchair user who has the mastery to control that chair and control that piece of equipment and tell that story the way it should authentically be told is a big thing. But I also, Wicked, I don't want you to rest on your laurels. I want you to keep going and keep realizing what we are capable of. So that's the first item on my agenda. But my second item is this, and it's really very important. In 1973, there was a law passed called the 504 Act. And what the 504 Act is it is insurance that, or it is assurance that people with disabilities will be able to, one, go to school, and that all, what 504 basically is, it's the assurance that every building and every entity that receives federal funding has to be made accessible. And that includes hospitals. And that includes the fact that hospitals need to be accessible so that they can treat us. Now, with the cuts that this current administration is attempting to make, they're attempting to say that 504 is unconstitutional, which would mean that the existence of people like me is unconstitutional. And we faced that back in the dark ages of disability history. Civil rights leader and the person that many of us call the mother of the disability rights movement, Judy Heumann, was born in 1947. And she contracted polio at the age of 18 months, so a little before 2 years old. And she was not allowed to go to school until she was 4 years old. Prior to that, she would have to have a tutor that would come only 2 days a week and do medial activities with her and then, in her words, teach her the life skill of cross-stitching. Because back then, that is all that people thought we were capable of. And people would not give us the time of day beyond that. And I say us as a community, us. Even though I was not born back then. But I will keep saying us as a community, us. And so when the Civil Rights Law Act was passed, that was the 504 Act. The 504 Act ensured that public schools and colleges and hospitals and anything that was federally funded that served people with disabilities or that served anybody had to be accessible. And that is in danger of going away. What is also in danger of going away is the ADA. The ADA ensures that anybody that is disabled, and this is a disability of any type. I'm not only referring to physical disabilities. I'm referring to disabilities across the gamut. So anybody that is disabled can have public access to different things within the community. That means that restaurants and movie theaters and anywhere that you could imagine going, nightclubs, schools, which I already covered schools because they're covered under the federal. But what the ADA also did for schools is it ended segregation. Before the ADA came along in 1990, July of 1990, and to put this in timing perspective, to put both of the laws into timing perspective, I was 8 years old when the ADA passed, and I was 10 years away from being born when discussion of the 504 Act started. The 504 Act was passed in 1973, I believe. It was either 1973 or 1975. I have to check my sources, but when the ADA was passed, that meant that for school-age children, we could go outside into the big yard and not play under the protection of the kindergarten yard. And have the only people that we played with be our classmates. Me, I was very blessed because I had all of my classmates, so my 10 classmates, and 2 people from general ed. Or what has come to be termed as general ed. But what is going to be very, very scary if this current administration takes away both the ADA and 504 is that we will go back into the dark ages, not be able to go to school, not be able to get jobs. There will be no talk of an IEP. IEP is individualized education planning. There will be no talk of an IEP, no talk of special education. So people within the school system that have disabilities and need special education will either be forced to go on home study or not go to school at all. And so we need to stop this administration from doing that. And it is very, very hurtful that they're even considering it. Because for the life of me, even in the past, the past administration of this current president. I witnessed him, and I think the majority of the world witnessed him, or at least the United States, witnessed him making fun of a reporter that was disabled. And so having a person like that within office that has no respect for other people that have differences, that have physical differences that he has never dealt with in his life, is very, very horrifying and hurtful. And so, the next thing I want to talk about, so to wrap up that point, please contact your legislation and tell them that you do not want the ADA to go away, because there are many, many states, and California is not one of them. Keep in mind that California is not one of the states that is suing to take away 504. The states that are suing to take away 504 have been listed in a map that I posted earlier. I think I posted it earlier today. And if it disappeared, please let me know and I will go try to find it again. But again, we are not one of the states that is suing to stop the ADA and 504. But so I want you guys to contact your legislation and tell them how important it is to keep the ADA and 504 for the sake of society. Because as a society, especially now with the celebration of Jenna Bainbridge becoming Nessa Rose on Broadway. And I know it might seem like something that is just specific to Broadway, but we need to show the world that we are capable of doing anything. We need to work. We are a community usually that needs to work 3 to 5 times harder, put in 3 to 5 times more energy to achieve what the average person that is non-disabled achieves. And the argument that I would hear, or that I think I would hear, is that everybody needs to try hard. And that is true, but I'm talking about the actual physical energy that we need to put in is way more than, like I said, the average non-disabled person who has never dealt with a physical disability before, or has only dealt with a physical disability being very, 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 very limited timing. So we need to show the world that we are capable of stepping up and speaking out. And so the next thing that I wanted to say, though, was that in my prompts for my website, because I use WordPress to build my website, so and that program has prompts every day just to keep you writing. The prompt asked me if there was a law that you would change or would write, what would it be? And so the law that I would change is not so much of a new law. It is the ADA. What I would do with the ADA is I would expand it. I would expand it to include that disabled people under the ADA And disability over the years as a definition has been broadened. So if you Google ADA and you look at it as it is now, the language of it has been broadened to include many other conditions. Many other conditions are considered disabilities now. And so back to my point though, I would expand it to include that people that are disabled can make as much money as they wanted or felt like they needed to and still have their benefits. Because as the law, the ADA currently is now, once a person enters a relationship that is a marriage relationship or even a cohabitating relationship where people know that you, in fact, are a couple, and you say that you are living with your significant other. Once the government finds out and you get your benefits, like say your Medicare, and or SSI or SSDI, your benefits are significantly lessened or completely taken away. Why? Because your income is accounted for with your partner's income. You're no longer a single independent person. So your income gets either chopped in half or more than half, or, like I said, gets completely taken away. And we need the government, we need society in general to understand that it takes teamwork to live, and that we can't have a society that thinks that just because somebody is living with us automatically means that they signed up to be our caretaker. And that it's not fair to either party, to the person that is disabled or the person that is not disabled, or if two people, God forbid, were both disabled and they were both to legally married to each other, then they would be basically poor, like dirt poor, because if they did not have a job, they would be in a detrimental situation. And another thing too, according to the DEI hires, DEI and DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Meaning that places like Target, places like Walmart, places like, I believe Starbucks really honored the DEI hire, when they did. But those places can no longer, under this administration, taking away the DEI because they think it's so horrible, have to fire those people that have those disabilities and have those conditions that fall under the ADA as a disability. And I say conditions that fall under the ADA as a disability because it is a person's prerogative whether they consider it an actual disability or not. So we need to do a lot of speaking up here, and we need to really buckle down and tell current administration, what they are doing wrong, and keep our freedom, because there is so much good that is happening in the world as far as entertainment, and that is not the picture of that unfortunately is not the picture of what America is going to become if we let the current administration do what it's doing. And it is going to take a lot. If we lose these laws, it is going to take a lot to get them back, because it needs to pass through Congress. It just can't be it can't be done overnight. It needs to pass through certain channels in order to get done. And even if Congress disagrees with the person that is in charge of the United States, even if that happens, hold on, let me turn off my sound. Okay, so even if that happens, it is still going to take a lot of work. So the work that needs to combat that needs to start now. We need to start speaking up now. So I encourage you to do something as small as, and I ask this all the time, and it's not just for likes and shares and so I could become famous. It is for the education of people that don't know that people with disabilities even exist or have the right to exist. Please share any content that you see from a disabled creator onto your stories, or onto your stories, or onto your reels, or just simply onto a post, because we need to get all of our voices amplified. And like I said, this is getting very, very serious, and I am no longer doing this just for fun. Everything that I do from here on out, whether it be a sermon note post, whether it be a post like this that is talking to you about what the law is and how it is in danger of being taken away, or a dance video, everything that I do from here on out can be considered advocacy, and I need help sharing it. I can't be the only one sharing it and think that it's gonna get to where it needs to be seen, because we all need to amplify each other's voices within the disability community, but we also need the help of our non-disabled allies. And another thing that you could do to educate yourself on both the ADA and 504 is go watch Crip Camp. I know that I probably say that ad nauseum around this time of year, because next month is actually Cerebral Palsy Pride Month. It is March 25th is Cerebral Palsy Day within America, and so that is a day that over the years that I have come to celebrate. I didn't used to, and you guys know my story. I didn't used to, but now that I do, I see how important it is, and I see how important it is to educate the world on the fact that we are people, and that we are people that deserve to be heard. So please watch Crip Camp. It's on Netflix. And if you don't want to watch it on Netflix, watch it on YouTube. Just type in Crip Camp to the search bar, and it should come up. And you will see what work was done in the past to give us the freedom that we have now. And that freedom that we have now is in danger of being taken away. And we are in danger of becoming, or of possibly becoming shut-ins again. Because I fully believe that that's what this administration wants, but that's not what they're going to get. I'm willing to fight for the rights of myself and my friends, and I know that if Judy Heumann were here today, she would not stand for this. She would be going to Washington and speaking her mind wherever she could, parking herself like she did in front of the White House all those years ago, and being with her friends and telling people that we can't be treated like this. We can't be treated like gum on somebody's shoe. We need to be treated like an actual citizen who has actual rights and an actual voice. So you guys, I hope that you're having a good night, and I hope all is going well. And I do hope and pray that you would follow disabled creators, and not only me, but follow me and other people that I will tag in this post when it is posted. And please follow them and share them on and amplify them, and continue sharing their stories as well, because their stories are equally important. And if we have that camaraderie going within all of us, then the people that want us gone will have to work that much harder, because we are going to be a force to be reckoned with. And we'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.